All right, y'all. The only poetic here. I'm back once again with another documentary. This is the documentary sequel. Okay. I wanted to redo the documentary because I looked at my old documentary. I'm like, I feel like there's more I could have said, and I feel like I could have made it flow a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could have made it flow a lot better and stuff like that. So in this documentary, I'm really going to, like I said, I don't want to let the audience know too much about me. I'm not going to spew out a whole lot of information, you know what I'm saying? Because I still want to remain mysterious because there's still some things y'all don't know about me, okay? But for the most part, I want to, you know, tell, a couple life stories, you know what I'm saying? And I want to mention this, that, and the third. I will not be name dropping, but I will be using code names, okay? Just because I haven't name dropped on this channel yet, and I don't want to plan to do that in this documentary. So I will be using code names, and the people, they're gonna know what the code names are. But for the most part, this is how it's gonna go. So without further ado, we're gonna start with my music first. Life's last. So music first, life last. You know what I'm saying? I have to talk about my music because this is overall what the channel is about. It's about my music. So we're gonna tap into this music shit. This should take about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we're gonna talk about life, which should take about 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm predicting this documentary is actually gonna be like 60 minutes to 70 minutes, so around an hour. So I think this is gonna be a good documentary. And let's get to it, man. So let's start off with my music, man. We're gonna kick things off like this. So, what? Why I started rapping? What made me want to begin rapping? Just seeing other people rap, hearing other people rap. I hear them rapping stuff. I'm like, bro, I feel like I can do this too, if not better. You know what I'm saying? So I began rapping. My first song I made when I was 14. It was called "Ballin'." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to keep doing this, and the more songs I made, the more I got better at it. Now, y'all only heard the songs that were on SoundCloud. Y'all never actually heard some of the little bitty snippets I made on my, little LG phone. You know what I'm saying? I made a lot of snippets. You know what I'm saying? Songs that just I never completed. You know what I'm saying? The only completed songs I made were the songs that were on SoundCloud. But I made a lot of like snippets, a little like a couple minute songs, a couple second songs that y'all just never heard. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean. But for the most part, man, like, rapping around that time for me was fun as fuck. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the songs that y'all should know that were on SoundCloud were, you got Ballin', um, Midwest Swings, Leanin', Come Up, Sailing, Goats, Hate. Um, Let me think. What's after that? And a couple more I don't remember. You know what I mean? I remember some old songs I made on my OG that y'all probably don't, that I haven't mentioned, right? I made a song called I Will Love, Back to Stay, you know what I'm saying? Drowse, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple like songs like that y'all probably don't know about that I made, you know what I'm saying, back then on my OG phone, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't know about, you know what I mean? So yeah. But for the most part, uh the best quality songs I made were the songs that were on SoundCloud. I actually made a few good quality songs that I haven't released on the SoundCloud. I wish I would have released all of them on that bitch. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? So what made me want to begin rapping was just hearing other people rap. I'm like, I feel like I can do this too, if not better. So I started doing that. And it worked out well for me because if I never would have started rapping, I would never have been this famous body. I would never have gotten all this notoriety. And believe it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, if I would never began rapping, some songs that are out now wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing I began rapping. I really, did a lot to the rap culture and stuff like that. I'm really glad I began rapping. You know what I mean? it was good for me because, I got this notoriety, all this fame and stuff like that. Of course, I don't care about the clout and fame. I don't, at this point in my life, I just care about getting my earnings and shit like that, you know what I mean? And for people to treat me with respect, you know what I'm saying? Treat me like a human being, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I don't really care about none of that other shit, you know what I mean? So that is what made me want to begin rapping. I began from 14 to like 16 years old, right? And then I stopped because it was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in school, and I switched from LG to Apple, right? And Apple, they want you to pay for everything, you know what I'm saying? You can't get nothing free on Apple, you know what I'm saying? On LG, I had this free app called To Me. It was a nice little app, you know what I'm saying? You could do an auto tune on it, you could do a voiceover on it, and it has auto tune in it in itself. So it was a nice little app for around that time period. Like, this is a nice recording app for around this time period. You know what I'm saying? And I actually, I didn't even pay for it. I had, actually, one of my siblings paid for it. I handed him the money in cash, and he ended up paying for it. You know what I mean? So honestly, I did pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, to get the advanced features, you had to pay for it. You know what I mean? But for the simple features, you didn't really need to pay for it. To be honest, I didn't even need the advanced features. You know what I mean? But the advanced features, you could do you could do a voice over, or you could do a redo, and you could do auto tune. You could do this, down, the third. So the advanced features was worth the little $4.99. You know what I mean? But for the most part, yeah, you know what I'm saying. It was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Um, I just stopped rapping because I just didn't want to pay for this money. I didn't have a debit card at the time. You know what I'm saying. I think I I I think around this time, you know what I'm saying. I have I did, you know what I'm saying. It was just complicated. You know what I mean. I just like I didn't feel like getting my guardian's card for it. You know what I'm saying. I didn't want her to ask all these questions, or my male guardian, and my brother's difficult and shit like that. You know what I'm saying. So it was like, I just did, just that's the reason why it didn't work. You know what I mean? And I could have actually got my brother to do it, but it was like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it was like, at this time I didn't know I was hacked. So it was like, it wasn't that deep to me. It wasn't that serious. It was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knows I'm making music and shit. I'm a nobody. Like, what's the point of doing this? You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, bro, let me focus more on school and living life. You know what I mean? Just living as a teenager. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I stopped. Um, so, what made me begin back rapping was when I discovered I got hacked, which was around 2018. And then around 2019, I started doing YouTube videos. I'm like, okay, let me begin rapping, right? So I began rapping, you know what I'm saying? First song back was Bankrolls, then I made Pioneer, this, that, and the third. I made Separate Realm, Wahoo, Lena Holic, Rust, shit like that, Extraordinaire, songs like that, you know what I'm saying? Just a few songs. I didn't make a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? But just a few songs because, like I said, even around this time back, I still didn't take rapping 100% serious, you know what I'm saying? It was just something that I just did just because, I just, enjoyed it, you know what I mean? I enjoy hearing what I made, you know what I'm saying? It gives me a satisfactory feeling, right? Um, So I made those songs or whatever. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was nice to make those songs. I actually did a few music videos to those songs. You know what I'm saying? I did a music video to Extraordinaire and Pioneer. And I did a lyric video to Leanin' and Pioneer. I think those are the only two songs I did lyric videos to, was Leanin' and Pioneer, to my knowledge. You know what I mean? Um, So yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I was lying in the Lane and lyric video as far as like storytelling. The lyrics I was saying was true, like the meaning behind the lyrics was true, but the storytelling I was saying was a lie. Like, for example, you know what I mean? I have no twin girl best friend, you know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? She never bought me shoes and nothing like that. That was a lie. What else was a lie? I was lying about me saying I did a music video to this song. You know what I'm saying? I was lying big time. You know what I'm saying? In the Lena lyric video, you know what I mean? But the lyrics I was saying are true. Like, the meaning behind the lyrics I was saying was true. Like, the stuff I was saying, you know what I mean? But it's just, the storytelling I was saying was false. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I made those songs right around 2019, 2020. Then I made Brilliant and shit like that, you know what I mean? Then I made, the second half of Chosen or whatever. I think those were like the last two songs I made. Yeah, the second half of Chosen was the last song I made before I stopped rapping again because, I got taught that I was being hacked. You know what I'm saying? I got taught that I was being hacked by my doctor. Things started to settle down once I got out of jail. I guess people felt sorry for me and shit. So, things, in the community kind of settled down. It was less slavery. It was less disrespect. Things started to settle down and shit. Doctor taught me out of being hacked. I stopped seeing less bullshit on social media. So I'm starting to think to myself, like, you know what? Maybe I'm not hacked. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably not hacked. Maybe it was just my imagination. So I just get off social media. I stopped talking on social media and shit. And this is when my life got better. You know what I'm saying? My life got drastically better. You know what I'm saying? I lost my virginity. I got my first job. I had me a little bit of money, even though I was blowing it on whores. You know what I'm saying? It just shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Life got better. You know what I'm saying? Life got better. You know what I'm saying? I got me a permit. I was driving and shit. I had good in-person connections. Life was good around this time. This is the best my life has ever been around this time. You know what I'm saying? Like in recent memory, like the lifestyle I was living around this time was better than the lifestyle I was living around so the 2021 through 23 lifestyle when I did not know I was hacked is better than the lifestyle I was living 2018 through 2020 when I knew I was hacked, and it's better than the 2018 through 16 lifestyle when I didn't know I was hacked in high school and shit like that. You know what I mean? Back when I was at the public high school. You know what I'm saying? So the best lifestyle I live is when I don't know I'm hacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the high school lifestyle I lived is better than the lifestyle I'm currently living right now. You know what I'm saying? I would rather live the high school lifestyle at the public high school that I transferred from that I'm gonna get into later on in this video. I would rather live I would rather live that lifestyle than the lifestyle I'm living right now. The lifestyle I'm living right now is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get treated like complete dog shit from the whole community. At least back in high school, I was treated with some decency, with dignity. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, at the high school, I got treated like shit, but it was like, I felt as if I was just more respected. You know what I'm saying? I was more respected at that high school than I am right now in this whole community. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Even I would go as far as to say, even around the time I knew I was when I was walking to Publix and shit, around 2019, 2020, I was treated with more respect versus now. Right now, I feel like I'm the most hated guy on earth. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, around this time, this is when my life was, you know what I'm saying, whatever, whatnot. So then, I discovered I actually am hacked, you know what I'm saying? How? Because I was following some snitches on Instagram and I got rejected by this girl that confirmed it. Like, okay, I'm 100% hacked, you know what I mean? So what I ended up doing, first song back, Superstar, you know what I'm saying? Then I made Neutral, Boundaries, Chosen, all that other shit, you know what I'm saying? And these are some good songs, you know what I'm saying? Good quality songs. I got some good quality songs. But it's kind of like, these songs are just not really the mood, you know what I mean? Like, some of these songs are like Neutral, that's a current mood. You know what I'm saying? Chosen, that's a current mood. Superstar, not really the mood. Boundaries, not the mood. You know what I mean? Mario, it's the mood, but not really. You know what I mean? Because, I'm single and not available, so I'm not really focused on trying to date right now. 08/23, semi. You know what I'm saying? Trump card, not the mood. Separate realm, not the mood. Well, this is an old song now. No Rest, not the mood. My Way, not the mood. You know what I'm saying? Like, these old songs, they're just not the mood. That's why I don't listen to them. You know what I mean? They're not the mood right now. Right? But we're going to, songs that I'm keeping it more real, that I'm keeping it a being. You got No Doubt. You know what I'm saying? That's the current mood, No Doubt. That's a song that's the mood right now. You know what I mean? Smash. That's a song that's the mood right now. You know what I mean? Never forfeit, that's the mood, you know what I'm saying? Poetic, that's the mood. Fire, you know what I'm saying? Clashing, that's really the mood. You know what I mean? You got songs like that, you know what I mean? You got songs like Tallahassee and shit. Game Over, you know what I'm saying? Prime, My Story. I don't want to say Flute. You got F America, you know what I'm saying? I got Bravery, you know what I'm saying? I got all these songs and shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, I got, a lot of good singles and shit. But let me speak on my mixtapes real quick. My prediction was right, you know what I'm saying? This is my music section of this video might actually be 20 to 30 minutes. Like I made a good prediction, you know what I mean? So let me get into my mixtapes real quick. I did some music videos and a little bit more what I plan to do with my music going forward, and then I'm gonna get into the life section of this video. All right. So look, so as far as my mixtape, man, we got Rhythm and Poetry, right? This is the album where I was trying to play hero, trying to win the women over, right? And I was thinking to myself, let me just keep trying, let me just keep going, man. Like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they might realize, maybe they might come to my senses, maybe they might come to their senses or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? I need to take this mask off. You know what I'm saying? I need to tell the women how I really feel. Not only that, I need to tell the men how I really feel. You know what I'm saying? I need to kind of create more boundaries because the men think they mean, the niggas think they mean shit. So I need to create more boundaries, right? So that's what I end up doing. You know what I'm saying? I need to create more boundaries for the niggas. And then I need to kind of diss the women a little bit more. You know what I mean? That's what I need to do to kind of just let everybody know my true feelings. At the end of the day, I made music for me to listen to. But at this time when I made Rhythm and Poetry, I was making like music for me to listen to and for the community to listen to. But when I made Keeping It a Bean, it was like, this is straight. This is just for me to listen to. And you gonna have to accept it whether you like it or not. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? So I made Keep It a Bean. I had these, real, this is my realest project. This is my realest album, Keep It a Bean. Make sure you listen to it. This is my realest album, right? Then after that, I made a few cultural songs, you know what I'm saying, trying to get the women back, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me try to, I was a little harsh. Let me try to, win the women back. Still didn't work, you know what I mean? So I made a couple, then, I start beefing with, rappers in the industry type shit. So I'm beefing with rappers in the industry. I'm like, I'm beefing with them and shit. It's like, I'm doing a few diss tracks or whatever. I'm like, I could do the diss track shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's not something I want to, really, indulge in, you know what I'm saying? This is not something I want to keep doing. I just don't want to keep doing back to back diss tracks. Like, let's sell this like men. Like let's brawl. Like, let's get in a boxing ring and let's sell this like men. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing this dumbass diss track online shit. I don't live online. I'm not an online nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an Instagram nigga. I'm an in real life nigga. That's what people don't understand. I do not live for Instagram. I live for in real life. You know what I mean? But anyway, then I released Quality EP, which is my most quality songs, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I released my most quality songs, in my opinion. These are the most quality songs I currently have on my YouTube page. Quality EP. You know what I'm saying? It was all my quality songs put into one, all together sequence. You know what I mean? And I think it's my best sounding project. You know what I mean? I like Quality EP, then Keep It a Bean, then Rhythm and Poetry. It goes in that order. Next, project that's getting released is going to be called August 23rd, which will be released August 23rd. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have 10 songs on there. And it's going to be a nice little project. It's going to be 10 quality songs. By then, I'm going to have a lot of new songs out. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you this much. I don't want to spoil anything, but songs that are guaranteed to be, I can tell you 3 songs that are guaranteed to be on the August 23rd album. Cameron, Survival, and Brilliant. Those are 3 songs that are guaranteed to be on the August 23rd album. So those are 3 songs already spoiled. That's going to be on the album. But I got my 2 newest recent songs. The reason why I put Survival on there because I said something about I don't want a party invite. And it applies to the August 23rd because, that's my birthday. I don't want no party invite. I don't want to kick it with you niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's why Survival, if you had a brand, you would know Survival was going to be on that bitch. You know what I mean? And I got to put Cameron on there because I named the song after me. So that obviously has to be on there. I had Brilliant on there because it's like, okay, this is a song that needs to be on, fucking August 23rd, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all niggas is clones. You know what I'm saying? I don't like her because she has sap, and fuck you, hand focus. Stop giving empty threats and shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You know what I mean? So, about the 20-minute mark. So, let me talk about some music videos, and then I'm going to close out the music section of this documentary with the future of my music. So, as far as music videos, man, I mean, my music videos are really, like, simple, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like editing and do all that mouthing and shit like that. But if you guys want to know my favorite music video I ever made, it's actually Clashing, because I feel as if I gave good advice in this music video, and I like, you know, I like the setting behind it. This is a cool music video. Like, Clashing is my best music video, obviously. But besides Clashing, it will be My Story, right? Besides My Story, my favorite music video will be it'll be between Mario and Never Forfeit. You know what I'm saying? Just because the reason why I say Never Forfeit, because I put a lot of effort into that shit. You know what I'm saying? And Never Forfeit is actually low key one of my favorite songs. And the reason why I say Mario is because like Mario had a good meaning behind the music video. Like, I seriously want to get a girl one day. I seriously want to get a woman. Like, I'm trying to go on a date and shit. But, you know, at this moment, I'm single, not available. I'm off the market until, like, 2026 type shit, you know what I mean? But I'm going to get into that later on in the music video. Later on in this video. You know, I got Neutral, I got Chosen, I got Hook and Ladder, I got No Risk, I got Brilliance, I got No Doubt. No Doubt is, you know, it's a good music video, too. Like, yeah, y'all women that's watching right now, you got to win me back over, you know what I'm saying? You got to win me back over. Like, if you're a woman, you watching this right now, you have to win me back over, you know what I mean? Because right now, I generally do not like the women right now. I don't like y'all. I despise y'all. So you have to do a good job of winning me back over. Like, I don't give a fuck if, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do your best to win me back over, bitch. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got another music video coming to Survival. You know what I'm saying? Survival is going to be my next music video. I don't know when I'm going to film it. I can't give you a date. It could be in a couple of days. It could be next week. It could be next month. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you a day when I'm going to do Survival. But Survival will be coming soon. But, you know, I normally do music videos to important songs. You know what I'm saying? And there are some important songs on my channel I did not do music videos to, but I do music videos to important songs that I feel like are going to stick. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You know what I mean? But to conclude the music section of this documentary, I want to go and say that, you know, it's nothing but up from here, man. I want to release good quality music, you know, for my own hearing. You know what I'm saying? I make music for me to listen to, not nobody else. So if you don't like it, oh, well, you know what I mean? But for the people that do like it, I do appreciate you. And hopefully, you know, my music grows on you more and more and more. You know what I mean? My next song will be getting made either this Saturday or Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Either this Saturday or Sunday, I will be back in the lab. I will be back writing, and I'm bringing the growly voice out of retirement. That is right. I'm bringing the growly voice back out the closet, and I can't wait to see what I'm going to do with myself. It ain't going to have a hook, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to, you know, stay away from hooking. I don't like hooking a lot, you know what I mean? But every now and then I do like to hook. Like, I hooked in Survival because I haven't did a hook in a while. Excuse me. I want to, you know, kind of stay away from hooks, but I still want to do hooks. I'm not completely away from hooks. And but I prefer to do a song with hooks because it's less writing and it's easier on me. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And I felt I needed to mention this in my documentary. So the reason why I make 2-minute songs is to separate myself from the rap industry, because I don't want to be like the rap industry. I want to stand out and be different. Typically, a song, you know, in the rap industry is 3 minutes. I make my 2 minutes to separate myself from the rap industry. And just because I just don't feel the need for a song to be 3 minutes. If I'm writing a song without a hook, what's the point of it being 3 minutes? I feel like the only reason, like as an artist, like as somebody, as a part-time artist, as somebody who writes music, I generally feel like there's no need for a 3 minute song. You know what I'm saying? If I'm writing a song without a hook, there's no need for it to be 3 minutes. Like I feel like I can say what I need to say and get my point across, and that's it. I feel like the only reason for a song to be 3 minutes is if I'm telling like some powerful shit. If I'm telling like a story type shit, then a song could be 3 minutes. But if I'm just, you know, saying random shit or whatever, like there's no need for a song to be 3 minutes. I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, right? And yeah, so that's just, you know, that's just my stance on it. But yeah, going forward, man, I just want to make better music, man. I really want to challenge myself, take myself to new heights with this shit. And I gotta really piece together this album properly. I gotta make like good ass songs. I gotta make some good ass songs. I gotta make some good quality, good sounding songs, man. So I'm really gonna be in the lab, man. Y'all gonna be like, what the fuck? Is this really Cameron? Is this Cameron? Is this Poetic, man? Is this him? You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all gonna be saying, man. So I really gotta get in the lab. I gotta get better with my lyrics and shit. You know, I really gotta work on myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to better myself. As an artist, I want to get better. You know what I'm saying? I want to become a better rapper. You know what I'm saying? I'm still working on myself. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to do. I want to better myself at, you know, the hobby I do. Because like I said, this is a hobby. You know what I'm saying? This is not... I am not a full-time rapper. I am a part-time rapper. You know what I'm saying? I don't live, eat, and breathe this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is just something I just do to keep myself entertained because I have nothing else to do to keep me entertained. And for some of my fans out there that possibly enjoy that, you know, I know that enjoy my music. So I do it for me and for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, to conclude the music section of this, yeah, I, you know, like I said, I just wanna keep going, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing me. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just reach new heights with my music, man. I want to really do some cool shit. I want to really do some cool shit, you know? So yeah. A lot of good music on the way. And yeah, by the way, before I end off this music section, you want to know what's my favorite song right now? Favorite song right now? Whoa, this is a good question. Favorite song? It used to be Stop and Go, but I released these 2 new songs, right? So it might actually be between Survival and Camera. I'm a little biased saying Camera because Camera, it's a good song, got good lyrics and stuff, but Survival obviously sounds better than Camera, right? So, you know, me being realistic, I would say Survival is my favorite song right now. Then it will probably be Stop and Go, right? Then it will probably be Melody, then Cameron. You know what I'm saying? That's me being realistic. That's just me talking. You know what I mean? If I was being biased, I would say 08/23, then Cameron and shit like that. You know what I mean? That was me being biased. 08/23 because of my birthday, and then Cameron because the song is named after me. That's me being biased, but off of like sounding song, off of like sounds, I would say Survival is like one of my best sounding songs. It's either Survival, Loving Myself, Stop and Go, Melody. Like, I sound very melodic in these songs, so that's why I put them up there. You know what I mean? But yeah. But anyway, to the life part of this documentary, you know what I'm saying? I killed about 29 minutes with the music shit, about 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Just as I predicted. Let's get into the life part of this documentary, right? So we're gonna start off. In grade school. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start in grade school, and we're gonna go as far as elementary, and we're gonna work our way up, right? So elementary school, man, I had, you know, people to talk to. I had a few classmates, you know what I'm saying? Truly, I only had one true, like, real person I could call a friend in elementary school, right? Like I said, we're going to use code names. We're going to call him Gap because he had a gap, right? We're going to call him Gap. So Gap and I, we was close. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of things in common. We liked the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? We would play together and shit. We used to call each other on the phone and shit like that. Our moms met each other and shit. Me and Gap, we was close. We was tight. You know what I'm saying? We had things in common. You know what I mean? And then, the relationship just naturally fell out. This is my 4th grade year. The relationship just naturally fell out. You know what I'm saying? It was just, the school shut down and, we went our separate ways. You know what I mean? That's just how it was. You know what I mean? Then we're going to move to 6th grade year because throughout all my years of school, in my opinion, I feel as if I only had 2 friends, which was Gap, and then we're going to go to Stone. You know what I'm saying? Stone is the 6th grade friend, right? Because his head was like a stone, right? So me and Stone, we was close too, you know what I'm saying? Stone, I consider him to be a friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? We had things in common, just like me and Gap. We had things in common. We liked the same shit. We watched the same shit. You know what I'm saying? We was both into video games. We had DSs back at the time. This was back when DSs was popping. We used to trade games and shit. We help each other with games we play and shit. You know what I mean? We was on a basketball team with each other. You know what I'm saying? We was on the same basketball team. We would sit by each other on the bench and shit like that. And we was bench warmers. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it was like, we was, always, we was around each other a lot. You know what I mean? We sat by each other at lunch because at lunch it was me, him, and then let me mention this other guy named Elf. The reason why we call him Elf because he has elf ears, right? So that's his nickname. It was just the 3 of us. We was the 3 Musketeers. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Stone, and Elf, right? Elf was like kind of like on the outside looking in, but Elf was still considered like a friend. You know what I'm saying? So Elf, he was low key a friend of mine, but I consider Stone to be more of a true friend versus Elf. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really consider Elf to be like a real friend. Elf was kind of just like a laid back dude. He was chill. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really do too much. You know what I mean? But me and Stone, we were just close. Like we was, you know what I'm saying? We was more hype. You know what I'm saying? We had more energy. You know what I mean? Whereas Elf, he was kind of like just like laid back or whatever. Just down the third, but he was still part of our group. You know what I mean? So it was mainly just the 3 of us. And then it was kind of like 4 of us actually to add another person. It was Stone's cousin. We're gonna call him Midget because he was short. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna call him Midget. So Midget, he sort of was in the group a little bit too. But Midget had a problem with me for some reason. He kind of like had a little issue with me, you know what I mean? So I didn't really like the kid, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But me and Stone got along very well. You know what I'm saying? We had good moments. We had some bad moments, but for the most part, we got along really well, man. We talked about a lot of shit. But, towards the end of the year, I felt as if he thought as if he was better than me, you know what I'm saying? What I mean by that, I felt as if, you know what I mean? I just, like, his attitude towards me changed. His energy towards me changed. Not, like, in a bad way, but I could just feel it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he won't admit to this, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you could just feel a person's energy, right? So I felt as if he just thought as if, I was like, just a nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I'm going to fall back off this guy. So it was just me and Elf. It was just me and Elf towards the end of the year. We were just chilling, you know? So like I said, Elf was like always on the outside looking in the group. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really like in tune in the group. He wasn't like in the group type shit. It was more me and Stone, right? And then, you got other people in other grades. You got 7th graders and 8th graders. Then you got 5th graders and shit. I didn't really, really talk to them like that. I mean, I would chat with the 8th graders every now and then just because they would troll us. They would troll me and Stone and Elf and shit like that. And some of the 7th graders, they would troll us as well. But like, bro, we wasn't friends, you know what I'm saying? So it was just me and Stone. That was like the last true friend I had, you know what I'm saying? Prior to Stone, it was Gap back in 4th grade. So 6th grade and 4th grade are the only 2 friends I had, right? Then we go into 7th grade year. I moved to a whole new private school, a whole new differentness. You know what I'm saying? It's a unique little private school. I managed to get an acquaintance or 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I consider them more like classmates. You know what I mean? We got, I'm going to call this one guy, I'm going to call him Potato. Call this one guy Helmet Head. I'm going to call this other guy, we're going to call him Sasquatch. Just because that's what Potato called the other guy, right? So, well, I wasn't really close to Helmet Head, so I'm gonna exit him out. You know what I'm saying? Me and Helmet Head wasn't close. Me and Potato was pretty close. We was cool, whatever. But he was a little too goofy for me, man. And me and Sasquatch, we was relatively cool. We was relatively close. You know what I'm saying? We was relatively close. Well, I wouldn't say we was close per se, but we was like relatively cool. That's the right term to use. Me and Sasquatch, we was kind of cool. But I would say like towards 9th grade year, like I said, this is the year I got hacked. This way everything kind of just fell apart and we kind of just, everything just seemed weird and awkward. And I felt like I just didn't belong there at the school, man. I feel like I didn't belong there, man. So, and, you know, I feel like they stopped teaching us. They'll just give us worksheets and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I told my guardian, I said, look, I don't want to be here no more. Send me to another school. I'll go to this other private school, right? And it was good at first, you know what I'm saying? It was good at first, but it turned bad, you know what I'm saying? I started getting bullied and shit. Niggas start verbally bullying me and shit like that. And I can handle verbal bullying, you know what I'm saying? Verbal bullying ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know how to handle verbal bullying. I grew up with that shit, you know what I'm saying? Me and my brothers, we would talk verbally. We would talk that bogus shit all the time. I'm gonna get into that later on in this documentary, but let me finish with my upbringing, my school, and let me finish with myself before I get into my family. Let me finish with myself first. You know what I mean? So, you know, this was something I was accustomed to, right? So, you know, later on they started physically bullying me. Now, like I said, they wasn't beating my ass or nothing like that. It wasn't, you know, beam me up type shit, but they, you know, they would throw me on the ground, kind of slap me around and shit like that. And it started to bother me a little bit. It's like, bro, like I remember like they keep trying to give me the slap box. I'm telling them no, like, bro, I don't want to slap box you, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like they keep pegging me. They keep trying to get me to like fight. I'm like, at this time, I'm not a fighter. Like I'm not the aggressor. I am today. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I'm like, bro, I got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I can't continue to be here. Wait, before I go to that part, let me rewind a little bit. So after my 9th grade year ended, I actually ended up going to another school, right? Another private school, right? I went there for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I liked it there better than the other school, obviously. But I ended up getting pulled out of that school because I got assaulted by a girl, right? She ended up hitting me in the mouth with a pool stick. You know what I'm saying? And they suspended me for getting hit in the mouth with a pool stick for no reason. I did nothing wrong in this scenario. I guess the reason why they did that because I'm known to be somebody who creates controversy and shit like that. Because, you know, I was a goofy kid around this time. But in this sequence, I did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So they suspended me for no reason. And I got injury inflicted. You know what I'm saying? We both got suspended. Me and the girl both got suspended. But it was like I shouldn't have been suspended in this situation. So that's when my guardian took me out. I got sent back to the other private school. And that's what the bullying got a little worse. I got really, you know what I'm saying? I got physical bullied and the verbal bullying got worse. It was like, man, you know what? I got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I got to get up out of here. So that's when I told my female guardian, I said, look, I'm not going there no more. And I told my male guardian, I said, look, I'm not going there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to put on my foot. I said, look, I'm not going to that school anymore. So it's either you take me to the public school or you want to call the cops on me or some shit like that. I will not continue to feel this way. So, you know what I'm saying? They end up listening to me. I end up getting sent to this public school, right? I took classes that were within my, you know, range of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit. I signed the paperwork. I applied. Went up there. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm at this public school, right? So this is where things get interesting. So when I'm at this public school, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this time I didn't know I was hacked. And everybody just, everybody treated me regular around this time, you know what I'm saying? By this time, like, I need to try to make some friends, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking to myself. So when I got there, I was talkative, but I was kind of like to myself, you know what I'm saying? So I was talkative to a few guys on the bus, right? Yeah, it makes sense for me to chat with some guys on the bus because, they live in my neighborhood and shit. Like, bro, I can fuck around and connect with these guys, you know what I mean? So it makes sense for me to do that, right? So I tried chatting with them. I'm like, bro, these niggas are weirdos, you know what I'm saying? I can't relate to them, but I'm going to talk to them because there's no one else for me to talk to. You get what I'm saying? So I ended up chatting with them. We ended up, we was okay, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if I can nickname these guys. We got this one guy, right? We're gonna nickname him Crazy. We got this other guy, we're gonna nickname him okay, hold on. Okay, so this one guy, we're gonna nickname him Crazy because he was a fucking psycho. He was crazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? He lived right down that street, my nigga. He was fucking insane, you know what I mean? This other guy, we're gonna call him Contacts because he wore contacts for some fucking reason. I'm like, bro, you was a dude wearing some contacts. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, accept the features for who you are. And contacts can actually damage your eyes. I'm not sure if people out there know that, you know what I mean? Then we got this other guy, we're gonna call him Sparrows because he always wears Sparrows and loafers. And then what other guy was there on the bus? I think that's about it. And it was this other guy, he had a mohawk. We call him Mohawk. But I didn't really like his ass, you know what I mean? But anyway, Sperry's was nice to me, you know what I'm saying? Contacts, we was cool the 11th grade year, but not the 12th grade year. You know what I'm saying? So it was like the 11th grade year, we was actually kind of cool. Like, I hung out with him every morning. Like, every morning, me and Contacts was around each other. And I even went off campus with the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was actually pretty, he was all right, you know what I'm saying? Even though he was probably putting on the act and stuff like that, like, he was okay, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a big problem with him, you know what I mean? But towards the 12th grade year, he stopped riding the bus, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. But we ended up having a class together, but even so, we still didn't really talk in that class, you know what I mean? Like, we would talk periodically, but we didn't really chat like that, you know what I mean? It was just sort of just like, just natural human behavior, you know what I mean? You be cool with somebody one year, then the next year, you're not really as cool with them, you know what I'm saying? That's just natural behavior, right? Yeah, those are the only. Oh yeah, and then there was somebody with the same name as me on the bus. He had the same name as me, Cameron. We was cool, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't friends or nothing like that. We was cool, whatever. He was a pretty cool dude, you know what I'm saying? He was laid back. I didn't have a problem with him. I never had a problem. I had a problem with his goddamn cousin, my nigga. Oh my goodness, that nigga would talk so much shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh my. If I could go back in time, I would have fought his ass. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga talk helly shit. You know what I'm saying? Helly shit. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I can't believe I took all that verbal abuse from that man. You know what I'm saying? That nigga would talk shit. He wouldn't just talk shit to me. That nigga would talk shit to everybody in the goddamn school. Like, but if you was around him, my nigga, he would fire you up. You know what I'm saying? He will roast you, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? That's all that nigga did. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only nigga he wouldn't roast is his fucking cousin Cameron with the same name as me. That's the only nigga he wouldn't roast. Other than that nigga will roast anybody. That nigga will rip on anybody. That nigga will rip on females too. And that nigga did not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was a straight shit talker. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I did not like that nigga. You know what I mean? But I started to see a good side of him. Like, I feel as if, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Got him or whatever. But, so let me explain. I don't want to make this documentary too long, but let me explain a group of guys I was around. Then I want to talk about my experience with women in high school, and then we're going to jump all the way to the job saga. Okay? So my experience with guys was kind of like, okay, so for example, I would, the groups I was around were either like 10th or 9th graders, right? I was either around them just because Cameron, he was like, 2 grades below me or a grade below me, so I was around him and his peers. I would either be around that group. Then I did have a group which was people around my age group, right? We was all, you know what I'm saying, in 11th and 12th grade and shit. But they kicked me out their group, right? And then I had this other little group I was with. It was like a mixture of grade levels. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like I didn't belong in that group. Then I had this other guy I was around and shit like that, but it just, you know. So I got booted from the 11th, 12th grade group that I was with. I did the other group with mixture of grades, right? And then you got the guy with the same name as me or whatever. I didn't get booted from this group. It's like, I'm not finna hang with people that is like that much younger than me type shit. I'm not finna hang with people that is lower than the grade level than me. You know what I mean? I would only kick it with them like during the mornings or after school. That's the only time I would kick it with, you know, Cameron and, you know, his people. You know what I'm saying? With only in the morning time. This was actually senior year, because the senior year I feel as if we grew a little closer. So I would only kick it with him during the senior year. Either in the morning time or after school, because sometimes I would stay after school just to chat with folks. I would stay after school just to chat with folks, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I was like, bro, it's boring at home, you know what I'm saying? I would stay after school just to chat with niggas, you know what I mean? So that's what I would do. You know what I mean? That's just what it was, man. But, anyway, so those were the couple groups I was around. I don't really remember clear as day. And like I said, I mean, guys there, it kind of like, they respected me, but at the same time, they hate and envy me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel as if I could not find a guy to really like connect with. I couldn't find a guy to like, okay, this is somebody I can rely on. This is somebody I can say, this is my buddy right here. There was no guy at the school I could say that to. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and Cameron, we was cool. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff. But other than that, you know, everybody else, like, you know, like, me and contest, like the guy on the bus, we fell out. Crazy, me and Crazy Guy, we was never cool. Me and Sparrows, we was never that close. You know what I mean? What else, man? And then, you know, a couple of people throughout my classes or whatever. I mean, I would talk to people in my classes or whatever, but they were just like people I talked to in class. There wasn't people I would be with outside of class. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how it is. Like for anybody that's watching, that's wondering what it's like to go to a public school. It's like when you go to a public school, it's kind of like you got certain people you talk to for certain situations, you know what I mean? But you need to, like, for anybody out there that's watching that's in a private school or is wondering what it's like to be in the high school, I'm going to tell you like this. When you get there, man, you're going to have situations where you're going to have certain niggas you talk to in certain situations. You're going to have certain people you talk to in certain classes. And then you're going to have certain people you talk to. You're going to have certain people you talk to in the mornings. Like, you might ride a bus with somebody, you hang with them during the morning. You might have certain niggas you talk to in after school, like your basketball team or football team. Like, that's kind of how it is, you know what I'm saying? That's how high school life is. That's how the post-school life is. And then, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. But you need to find, like, that guy. You need to find that buddy that, okay, you know what I'm saying, we eating lunch together, you know what I'm saying, we going off campus together, you know what I'm saying, we go to each other's houses and shit like that. You need to find that buddy in high school for anybody out there that's watching, you know what I mean? I couldn't find that buddy, you know what I mean? So that's just what it was for me in high school, right? But for the most part, man, nobody physically abused me there. People, you know, they knew their place, they knew what's up. You know what I mean? All that other shit. I managed to graduate it barely. And yeah. Now let me talk about the women I tried to, you know, get at high school. Then we're going to jump to the job situations. I'm actually doing pretty well with this documentary. It's flowing way nicer than the other documentary, you know what I mean? So, as far as the girls there, I try to get at a few girls there. Didn't work, of course. You know what I mean? I tried to get at this one girl. She went to the same church as me and shit. I don't want to give out too much free clout. I don't know what I'm going to call her. We'll call her Hazel, because she had hazel eyes. I tried to get at her. She didn't want no parts of me. Granted, I mean, I think she had a boyfriend anyway, and I wasn't, you know, as good as a talker as I am now. But still, you know, I'm a famous body and shit. I mean, I would make the conversation work. I would try to do this and that. I tried to get her ass. She didn't want me, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I tried to get another girl that lived in the same neighborhoods, man. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I did a whole video on her ass. I did a whole video on this bitch, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what, you know what I mean? This bitch playing games, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for that. And you know, like I said, she rejected me and shit, but it seemed as if she was giving me signals that she wanted me to come talk to her again. But it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna risk getting rejected again. And then I sent guys off to try to ask her, do she want me to talk to her? Then she said no, but then she giving me signals again. I'm like, she doing that little girl shit. I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? I tried to get at this other girl, man. She was one grade below me, man. I tried to get her ass like 4 to 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see her ass, I try to talk to her. That bitch want no parts of me. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna call her I don't know what the fuck to call her ass, you know what I mean? We'll call her light skin because that's what she was. I try to get at that bitch. And then I try to get at oh yeah, I try to get at this other hoe, right? And man, this bitch was just difficult as fuck. Ugh, this shit. I don't know. I tried to at least get at like 5 to 6 girls there. Not a whole bunch. I didn't try to get at a whole flock of girls there. I wasn't no dog, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was still, you know what I mean? But I would say I at least try to get at 5 to 6 girls. I can't remember all the top of my head, you know what I'm saying? It's not that important to me. I try to forget about shit like this, you know what I mean? But, you know, I try to get at dumb shit didn't work. You know what I mean? But I do want to say there are a few girls at high school that tried with me. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, throughout my lifetime, girls have always treated me kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? Girls have not really treated me good. Like, I feel as if girls, they treat me worse than men, or they just look at me as some abnormal character. But I just feel as if I'm not looked at as other men. If any of that girls should be treating me really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? I should be treated like a goddamn king. You know what I mean? But anyway, there was a few girls that actually tried, you know what I'm saying, to get at me in high school. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. If you was a girl at high school and if you try to get at me, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? And I actually mentioned these girls, you know what I'm saying? I mentioned these girls in the goddamn song. You got Alexis and Ari, right? Those are the girls that I mentioned in the song. I had the name drop, you know what I mean? But I mentioned them in the song so I don't feel bad about doing it, you know what I mean? And then, you know, you got other girls, you know what I'm saying? I actually dropped them on my goddamn Instagram live, but I'm not going to mention it in my YouTube video. But I'm going to get them nicknames. You got Dark Skin, right? And then you got this other girl, we're going to call her... okay, so this is when I got I'm just going to name fruits. So we're going to call her... we're going to call her Pear. You know what I'm saying? So we got Dark Skin, Pear. You got Alexis, Ari. Yeah, so these are the 4 main girls in high school that made me feel wanted, right? These are like the 4 main girls. Like, I feel as if, like, if I were to reciprocate the same energy, I could have had them. Like, these potentially could have been my girlfriends, right? This is the reason why, you know, like, I feel as if these are girls. These are girls I actually want to cross paths with again. These are girls I actually want to meet. You know what I mean? Just because if I knew it would be this hard for me to, like, get a girlfriend, to lose my virginity and shit like that, like, these are girls I would have fucked with. You know what I'm saying? These are girls I definitely would have fucked with. You know what I mean? And there's probably a few others in high school that I'm forgetting, but these are the 4 main ones that made me feel wanted, right? But throughout my high school experience, man, with me and girls, I mean, it was nothing really. I mean, girls would look at me and shit, you know what I'm saying? Every now and then, you know what I mean? But, you know, I never really, like I said, I wasn't trying to, you know, I wasn't just shooting my shot at bitches and all like that, you know what I'm saying? I was, in high school, even though I was more confident with talking to girls and shit like that in my classes and shit, it was just like, you know, they weren't really my main focus. My main focus in high school was focused on fucking graduating. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I didn't have friends in goddamn high school. I was, most of the time, during my 12th grade year, I was alone. Like, towards the later end of my 12th grade year, I was alone type shit. So I was just doing virtuals, focusing on trying to graduate, focusing on my classes and shit. Cause I'm thinking, bro, if I don't graduate it, I gotta get me a goddamn GED. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's like. You know what I mean? But I managed to, and I'm glad for that. So I end up graduating, and barely, and nobody clapped for me, which is a fucking shame. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get how you can come, like, to my guardians that are going to end up watching this video in the future. How can you come to your child's graduation and not clap? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That actually made me kind of feel kind of bad, you know what I mean? But looking back on it, it's not nothing to feel bad about. I mean, I'm actually glad I didn't clap. I was the center of attention, my nigga. Like, everybody was looking at me like, damn, nobody clapped for that. I'm talking about everybody got a hand clap except me, this guy right here. You know what I mean? But it's okay, my nigga. I don't really care. You know what I mean? But I end up graduating and shit, and I'm proud, and we go from there. So after that, let's fast forward a little bit after graduation. Let's fast forward to when I get my first job. I ended up getting my first job at the Blue Ribbon Cleaners. I got terminated from that job. Then I ended up getting a job at McDonald's. Right, I quit that job because I felt they was treating me bad, and I felt as if the environment, it wasn't the right environment. It was too ghetto and shit. So I quit that job. Then I got a job at Taco Bell. They took me off the schedule for some reason. I'm like, I'm new as fuck. I'm trying to learn shit. Like, McDonald's had way more patience versus Taco Bell. Like, Taco Bell had no patience with the kid. You know what I'm saying? Whereas McDonald's, they was way more patient and understanding. It was just the environment was too much for me. I could have very much well stayed at McDonald's. But it was like, bro, I can find another job. I don't need y'all niggas. Taco Bell, on the other hand, they was like trying to get rid of my ass. They was like, they took me off the schedule. So I said, fuck it, I quit. And afterwards, I couldn't get a job until I acted like I didn't know I was hacked, which I really didn't know I was hacked. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's got more normal. I got my first job at Dollar Tree, right? Dollar Tree was cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first extent I've been there. I worked at Dollar Tree 3 separate times. The first time I worked there was obviously the best. You know what I'm saying? I was there at Dollar Tree, and I'm just there, right? When I first got there, I was relatively, kind of to myself. I wouldn't say I was like nervous or shy or anything. I was just kind of, to myself, cause I'm trying to figure shit out. This is my first, actual job. You know what I mean? This is my first actual job, like that. I'm gonna be at. This is my first time being around people and shit. You know what I mean? Being around workers and shit in a long time. So I'm kind of trying to be on my best behavior. When I first get there, it was me and then the assistant manager and the store manager. We was the only guys there, right? So me and the assistant manager, honestly, man, I always had this bad vibe about him. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad person, nothing like that. But I kind of just got like this bad vibe from him. You know what I mean? And I'm going to get into that later on in this video. And then you got me and the store manager. Fuck the store manager, you know what I mean? But now I'm actually glad he gave me an opportunity to work there, you know what I mean? Like, but it just one of the lines of that last time I worked there, like, bro, that nigga was acting like a douchebag, you know what I'm saying? That nigga was acting like an asshole. The last time I worked there, he was acting like a goddamn asshole, but the first time I worked there and shit, he was acting, all good and nice to me and shit, you know what I mean? Like, he was understanding with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I was $73 short. He was understanding with me. He didn't write me up, even though he said he was going to. He didn't write me up and shit, you know what I'm saying? He was a very understanding man, like, you know what I mean? Very patient and shit. But let me talk about some stories there at Dollar Tree and shit. Then I'm going to jump to Home Depot and tell a little bit more life stories. And then I'm going to talk about family. And then that'll be the end of this documentary. So, here we go, man. So life stories there. I mean, at Dollar Tree, I never really had problems with customers. Customers relatively respected me. I'll come across a few customers that might test me. I'm not going to get into detail about that. As far as the workers there, I mean, I got along with the workers pretty well. You know what I mean? The closest worker I would say I was there with was this guy. We're gonna call him Missing Teeth because he had missing teeth. He was the closest worker I would say I was there with. You know what I'm saying? Me and him was pretty cool. Like, the first time we worked with each other, I was the manager, he was the cashier. Second time, I was the cashier, he was the manager. I didn't really like him as the manager, you know what I mean? But I liked him more as the cashier when, you know, he knows his place and can't tell me what to do, you know what I mean? I just feel as if he was just more chill, more relaxed and shit like that, you know what I mean? And we had some good conversations and shit. And, you know, he was all right, even though I know that, you know, he was putting on his act. He was putting on a charade and shit. Sometimes, you know, because, you know, everybody plays a role and shit. You know what I'm saying? People was playing their roles and shit around this time. It was just kind of like, you know, I would say he was the most coolest guy. You know what I'm saying? And I worked with other guys there. There was this other guy. He was from, like, Afghanistan or wherever the fuck. Or Iran or some shit. That's the best way to describe him. He was actually okay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a problem with him. He was like a goddamn like lazy bum. I think like I'm talking about this guy. He didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? He was worse than me. You know what I mean? There was the other guy. He was like in high school type shit. We would call him long hair. He was solid. You know what I'm saying? Like he was kind of just like living in a moment type shit. Like he wasn't the type to do extra or talk a whole lot or nothing like that. He was just living in a moment. And then it was this other guy. He was autistic. That guy would talk so much, my nigga. I'm talking about, oh my goodness, I cannot. He would talk a lot. It took a lot. I have a lot of patience. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of patience with him because I know he's mental. But like, man, that nigga talks so much. I just wanted to yell out loud, like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I want to do that one day. Like that nigga would talk so much. You know what I mean? And then I think that's about all the guys there that I work with. As far as the girls there, the women there. I'm gonna speak on the older women first, and then the younger women. The older women there, we start with this big lady, right? We're gonna call her big lady because she was the biggest woman, biggest person in the store. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. She was actually somebody that, you know what I'm saying, was like, you know, nice. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say nice per se. I would say somebody that was just cool. You know what I'm saying? She was like in her 30s or some shit. You know what I mean? She was actually, you know, kind of like talking to her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That was somebody I would chat with. It was this other old lady, right? She was a manager like me. I didn't like her as she would fucking try to boss me around and shit. And she didn't do shit. She would make the store worse. Bitch lady would just, I don't even want to get into it, man. But just know she was a disaster and nobody liked her there. You know what I mean? And it was this other old lady. She been working there for like years, right? She ended up passing away, which is real unfortunate, you know what I mean? But she was working there. She was okay. I mean, she was better than the other old lady I was just talking about. You know what I mean? There was this other lady there. We're gonna call her second big lady because she was big just like the other one. She was the second biggest person in the store. She was okay. I didn't have a problem with her. What other old ladies that was there at that store the first go around? Cause I was there like 3 times, so I got a different, you know, string of people. You know what I mean? I gotta get into. And that's about it. And you speak on the younger girls, right? It was this one girl. We're gonna call her. We're gonna call her. Damn it! I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna call her as. I guess I go after one of my fruits. We're gonna call her we're gonna call her Kiwi, okay? Kiwi, that was actually the first girl there I saw that, you know, was like appealing to me. Right? I was like, bro, I gotta get at this girl one day. And I ended up trying to do that and shit. And, you know, I ended up getting her number. I was really trying to get at her, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I really want her. I threw it all on the line. I even offered money to this hoe. I was like, bro, I just want to fuck this bitch. You know what I'm saying? That was just my mindset back then, right? Now I'm not like that, but that was just my mindset. That bitch didn't want no parts of me. Like I really tried to get at her. Like even it's kind of like I just to this day I don't understand why she did this to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand. Like even like the first go around, right? So I got a number. I tried testing with her. You know, she wasn't really interested in everything in the flow. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm just not her type. I'm saying maybe I'm just not her type. But I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how can I not be your type, you know what I'm saying? I got all this fame and clout. You know, this is at the time I got talked out of being. I'm like, bro, I got all this fame and clout and potential money. Like, hey, bitch, you better roll the dice and take the risk with me. You know what I mean? Like, what are you thinking, bitch? You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you know, she want to try to play, hard to get, like she that bitch or something like that. Like, bitch, you work at Dollar Tree. You don't even got a whip. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit. You ain't got a lot of money and shit. You live with your goddamn grandparents and shit. Like, what the fuck, bitch? You is not that bitch, hoe. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, you know what I'm saying? She ended up leaving to go to Walmart, right? She ended up getting another job at Walmart and shit. And I seen her there one time, you know what I'm saying? I should have texted her that day when I seen her. But I just hit her up random out the blue one time. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot my shot at her again. So we started texting and shit. Surprisingly, she texting back. So we having a good we having an okay texting conversation, and then all of a sudden she just stopped texting back and then sends a picture with her and her boyfriend. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing? I did nothing wrong. I look back at that text. I'm like, bro, what did I do wrong, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to network. I'm trying to network with you and stuff, bro. I'm trying to get to know you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, you know what I mean? But even so, man, even after that, bro, I was like, bro, let me be your side niggas. I was like, bro, I was really trying to get this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This is at the time I was down bad and desperate for love. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, please let me fuck with you. I ain't got no options. I can't get no bitch online because these bitches be trying to scam me and shit. Bro, just let me fuck with you. You know what I mean? Bitches want no parts of me, man. I'm like, man, fuck you. You know what I mean? She ended up blocking me on social media. She blocked my number. She blocked me on social. I was really trying to get at that bitch. I was going crazy for her ass. You know what I mean? I was going crazy for that bitch. She not even a bitch worth going crazy for. But I just went crazy because, like I said, I had no options around this time. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's one girl I tried to get at Dollar Tree. And then another girl I tried to get at Dollar Tree. We're gonna call her Apple, right? She, you know what I'm saying, was foreign or whatever. I mean, I started to get at her after the Dollar Tree life because I realized, like, I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I probably should have took my chances with her. But it was like, she was getting ready to leave to go off to college and shit. So I was like, I don't really see the point of me trying to do this. You know what I mean, now, if she would let me fuck between that time period, then, I would do it, you know what I mean? But it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I don't think she that type of girl, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean? But you never know, you know what I'm saying? Like, she fucking around could be a hoe, you know what I'm saying? So she probably would have, you know what I mean? And I don't really know, and whatever, whatnot. I really try to get her ass, and I'll say out of every young girl there, she was the best conversationalist, I would say. It was between her and this other girl. We're going to call her Tattoos because she had a lot of tattoos and shit. You know what I mean? So we got Apple and Tattoos, right? It was between them two young girls that was the best conversationalist there. But other than that, all the rest of them was just... Oh, yeah, and then we got this other girl, right? But she had a goddamn baby daddy and kids and shit like that. So it was like, I didn't even look at her in that light. I didn't look at her sexually. You know what I'm saying? I just looked at her as, a coworker. You know what I mean? But I feel as if she kind of, had a little... I feel like she kind of, had a good head on her shoulders. You know what I mean? I feel as if, what I'm saying? I feel as if she could tell me a thing or two. You know what I mean? But... yeah, you know what I'm saying? What other young girls there? I guess the second go around, you got her, and there's this other girl. We're gonna call her Banana. She was light skinned or whatever. That bitch ended up scamming me for money. Fuck that hoe. And then they got Tattoos. I was actually trying to recruit Tattoos to come to Home Depot. But I just never went through with asking her for her information or whatever. I was really trying to help the bitch. I was trying to be helpful, like a helpful guy, you know what I mean? Like, it seems as if I'm listening to her, how she need more money. She in college and shit. Just done it there. I'm like, I can help you, bitch. You know what I mean? But she was okay, though, you know what I'm saying? She was all right, you know what I mean? And I think those were it was this other young girl. We're going to just call her Jay for short. She was goddamn... She always, she kind of, her aura towards me seemed a little off. Like, her sister, I feel like her sister was nicer. Her sister was big. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, I feel like this big bitch is nicer to me versus Jay. You know what I mean? And that was it. Those were the only young girls there. But like I said, all the young girls there, the girls there that I feel as if were the coolest was Apple, right? And um tattoos, right? But to wrap up the Dollar Tree saga, I gotta get ready to transfer to Home Depot. To wrap up the Dollar Tree saga, I would say that it was a good experience working there. It was good interacting with customers. I got to learn stuff. I had to learn how to work a register. I learned customer service. I learned how customers work and operate. I learned how to stock and shit. I learned how to use box cutters and shit like that. I learned how to count money. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to count money. I learned how to use a money counter and shit like that. I'm glad I got the experience at Dollar Tree, and I won't forget it. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's move on to Home Depot. So, like I said, after Home Depot, what I said I was going to talk about after Home Depot? Um, After the Home Depot life. Oh, yeah, I got to talk about my family life. Oh, yeah, and then I also need to mention Appalachia, too. I need to mention Appalachia, too, so I guess after I finish Home Depot, I'm going to mention some Appalachia shit. And then I'm going to go into family life. And then that'll be the end of this documentary. But anyway, so to go into Home Depot life, man. When I first got out of Home Depot, man, it was like, like I said, I was to myself and shit. But the people who was being nice to me in my department, I worked in paint. They was being nice to me. They was telling me this and that, trying to show me how to do shit. They was pretty patient with me. My primary trainer was this guy. We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Glasses because he wore glasses. I'm just thinking of easy nicknames, right? He was my trainer. He was relatively patient with me and shit like that, and he was good at explaining things compared to the other people, like the other old people, because it was primarily like older guys in my department. I mean, older people. They wasn't really good at explaining things compared to Glasses, who was around my age. He was good at explaining. And it was this other young guy. He was pretty good at explaining too. We're gonna call him Cap because he wore a hat or whatever. We're gonna call him a hat because he always wore a hat. He was pretty good at explaining things too. It was between them two. It was a bald guy, but he wasn't really. You know what I'm saying? Me and that guy kind of had like a little friction. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I'm saying. I would say throughout that whole department, Glasses, Hat was my best trainers. You know what I mean? Gent. Oh, whew, there was this other old guy. He was bald or whatever. He was pretty good. There was two bald guys, but we're gonna refer to as. I didn't really see the other bald guy because he primarily worked in the mornings. So there was this other bald guy. He was pretty good at teaching every night. I mean, he had good knowledge on the products, but he just wasn't good at explaining it. You know what I mean? I almost said his goddamn name, but other than that, so that was pretty much it. For that. And then with this lady there, right? She was kind of like she had knowledge on the products too, but as time went on, I feel as if I was like surpassing her type shit. Like I feel as if when I first got there, I was always running to her for help. But it came to the point in time where sometimes I would ask her a question, she didn't even know the answer to it. And sometimes I remember just one time, like a couple of times, she asked me a couple questions. You know what I mean? So I was like, I feel as if I was on the same level as her, or I surpassed her. God damn it! You know what I mean? This was towards like before I figured out I had that Home Depot and shit. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like my paint skills there. It was growing with time. You know what I'm saying? It took patience because I almost threw in the towel. I almost said, you know what? This ain't a job for me. You know what I mean? But I stuck with it. I just took my time. And like I said, if I always come across a tough question, I go to Google. And the more you Google tough questions, the more knowledge you get on products. You read the back of the can for help with the product. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to use common sense. A lot of it's common sense. You know what I mean? And like I said, as time goes on, the more comfortable I got with paint. And I feel as if I was one of the best painters there. You know what I mean? I didn't have a problem with nobody in my apartment except the bald guy who was like in his 40s, I think. I had a little bit of friction with him. I'm glad he ended up leaving because I didn't really like his ass. You know what I mean? And soon after he left, that's what Hat ended up leaving too. But me and Hat wasn't really cool. Me and Hat, I mean, we were talking shit. You know what I'm saying? He would help me out with certain shit, but we wasn't close. Me and Ball got like the closest guy I was with at that job was some guy in Flooring. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna refer to him guy in Flooring. You know what I mean? He was the guy I was closest with at that job. I actually like talking to him. I mean, he was a cool dude for the most part, even though I feel as if he was a little bit off in the brain. I feel as if he was kind of a little bit shaky. You know what I'm saying? He was all right. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I didn't have a problem with him. Like, he was okay. Like, I'm saying, like, everybody at that job, if I had to pick somebody to hang with outside of work, it would be him. But there was another guy in Florida, right? He was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So let me actually give him a name. So the guy I was coolest with, we're gonna call him Blonde, right? Because he had blonde hair, right? Now with this other guy in Florida, we're gonna call him Tattoos, right? Because he had got them tattoos and shit. I'm trying to think of polite names. Now this other guy in Florida, he was a goddamn dumbass. You know what I'm saying? That nigga didn't. I mean, he shouldn't be working there. You know what I'm saying? That nigga, he should be at school. Yeah, I was like, he should not be at no goddamn job. I mean, you gotta have basic generic like brain skills. Like, you gotta have a goddamn diploma to be working at Home Depot. It seemed like this nigga was like had the brain of a middle schooler. You know what I mean? So it was like, I don't think this is a job for him. Like, I had to come help him and shit. Like, I had to come save him. You know what I mean? But those are the only two guys in Florida. Then there was some guys in lumber I would chat with every now and then, and there was some guys in hardware and shit. There was guys all over the place, cashiers and shit. There was people all over the place I would chat with, but I think the people I was closer to outside of my department was the guys in Flooring because they're right beside me. So it was Blonde and Tattoos. I actually chatted with Tattoos for a little bit. It was Blonde and Tattoos. Those are the closest guys I was with in my department. Blonde and Tattoos. You know what I mean? We was those are the two closest guys I think I was with at Home Depot, maybe. You know what I mean? You know. But for the most part, I got along with all the guys there. I would chat with them and shit like that. I have a problem with I have a problem with no coworker there, no girl or boy. I only had problems with the managers because there was micromanaging everything I do. They was trying to like get me fired and shit. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to fire me. Like, I got rolled up twice in one day for bullshit. I got rolled up because I hung up the phone on a customer because the customer was acting stupid and confused. And then I got rolled up for staying because I got called while I was in the break room, and you can't hear in the break room because they don't have speakers, right? I got called. I didn't know I got called. So I come back out. They get mad at me and shit, and they wrote me up for that. You know how much workers there that happens to? You can't hear in the goddamn break room. They don't have speakers back there, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I got to end up getting rolled up for that. So, I had to run to Home Depot. I'm like, I had to call the goddamn HR and shit. I'm like, bro, y'all got to remove this shit. I gotta remove this shit. You gotta take one of these shits off. Like, I got rolled up for no reason. So they end up removing one of them and shit like that. They end up removing one of the write-ups and shit. But that shit actually pissed me off. Like, bro, I should not have got rolled up. I was like, I really feel like they was ganging up on me. Like, they was targeting me. Like, they was really trying to get rid of me there at Home Depot. I'm like, you not finna run me out of this job. Y'all gonna have to fire my ass. You know what I'm saying? I get good pay and I don't do shit here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not finna fire me. You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't do shit. I mean, I would do the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? I would do the bare minimum. Like, I take orders. I fix the shelves with my front face it or whatever. I used to stock paint. But I stopped doing it when I realized I was the only one doing it. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna break my back being the only nigga doing this shit. Like, I'm not y'all. But yeah, basically, I'm like, bro, I'm not finna be the only nigga doing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be the only person doing this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not finna be the only person stocking. You know what I mean? So basically, that's when I ended up stocking. I would just really just take orders, or I just network with people. I'll just go around, conversate, and just talk to niggas, you know what I'm saying, in person and shit like that. And that's pretty much all I really did there, right? Then I ended up discovering I got hacked when I got turned down by this girl, you know what I'm saying? And let me speak on the girl. I mean, the only girls I tried to pursue there were, let me just give a nickname for these girls. We're going to call one of these girls, we're going to call her Cherry, and we're going to call the other girl, we're going to call her Stupid. Let me not say that. We're going to call her Raspberry, okay? So we got Raspberry, and then we got Cherry, right? So Raspberry was the one, she had a twin sister or whatever. I kind of got them confused, but Raspberry was really, really, like, really like, she was just didn't make sense, man. I was really trying to get at her. I'm like, bro, what am I doing wrong? I see you talking to all these other cashiers. Why can't you talk to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it. But as I was chatting with their ex-boyfriend or whatever, he was talking about something. They like for you to be their friend first, you know what I'm saying? They don't want you to force it or whatever. When I'm like, bro, that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm being friendly towards the bitch. I ain't throwing myself on her. I ain't trying to spit game at this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to talk to her, get to know her and shit. Bitch act like she don't want to talk. So I fell back off her ass. I'm like, yeah, I got rejected. You know what I mean? I take that as a rejection. Then Cherry, I asked for her number, right? And then after I asked for her number, her mood changed. You know what I'm saying? She started acting a little bit different. It seemed like she wasn't really like, she was losing interest in me. So I'm like, okay, if I text this bitch, she don't respond, I'm just going to completely ignore her as forever. You know what I'm saying? Until she talked to me again. I texted her, she didn't respond. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to end up doing. Right? That's what I'm going to end up doing. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as that, you know what I'm saying? There was a few other girls there I would talk to. You know what I'm saying? There was a few other girls there I would talk to. Like, I would talk to some girl in Millwork. She was pretty cool. There was a girl at the service desk. I mean, I didn't really start talking towards the end before she left. There was a few other girls that I would chat with, but it wasn't like heavy chatting. You know what I'm saying? It was just light chatting. You know what I mean? But, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it ain't. You know what I mean? But as I discovered got hats, I missed the day at work. They took me off the schedule, so I ended up not showing up. Then I called to try to come back. They didn't want me to come back. They didn't answer. They hung up the phone on me. Then they tried to call me to come back. I'm like, bro, make up your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like just down the third. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what I'm saying? I just said fuck Home Depot. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get into Appalachia. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into Appalachia, right? Because I want to talk about this, man. I want to talk about the Appalachia. Since y'all really want me to get in, since y'all, you know, I know some people there want me to talk about it or whatever. I want to talk about this. So, first time I went to Appalachia, right? Is when I destroyed Publix, right? I destroyed Publix. You know what I'm saying? So they took me to Appalachia. The first time I was there, it was cool. Like, I had no problem with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no guy bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no woman bothered me. It was smooth sailing. Like, nobody tried me. No, there was no yelling, no hollering. It was just normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first time I've been to Appalachia, right? This is after I destroyed Pose. Took it straight there. I'm like, this is low-key a vibe. I would rather be here than at home. You know what I mean? Then, you know, as I got released, I did a little video on it back on one of my old YouTube channels. I'm like, you know what I mean? Then after that, second time I went there, I was writing Superstore, right? I was writing Superstore. And then it was like, I was writing Superstore, and then I got taken there, right? And that was hell on earth, you know what I'm saying? I ended up getting treated really, really bad by these women, right? I ended up getting treated really, really bad by these women. And I'm like, you know, by these women and men, you know what I'm saying? Like the women, you know what I'm saying? They would like ignoring me type shit. And then some of them were like talking shit. This, that, and the third. And then the niggas and shit, they was talking shit as well, but not really. Then I had 3 nurses attack me, and then I had one of the clients fucking attack me and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, you know what I mean? It was like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It was kind of just like, man, you know what I'm saying? Fuck all this shit. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of screaming and hollering, you know what I'm saying? It felt like I got in prison. I was there for like a good week or two. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting released second time for Appalachia. Third time with the Appalachia was better than the second time. I forgot to say this. So what did I learn the second time I went to Appalachia? What I learned is like these girls, these bitches don't give a damn about me. They're diamond diggers, which is of course I've been through that. People are evil, niggas are evil and shit like that. I'm on my own. It's survival of the fittest, my nigga. You know what I mean? The third time I went to Appalachia, I learned that, you know, the white folks is racist. Some white people, I mean, I've been knew white people were racist, but I kind of got a gist of how white people truly feel about me. Now, I'm not saying all white people feel this type of way about me, but it's kind of along the lines of, you know, I feel as if, you know what I mean? I had a racist roommate, you know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying all white people are like that, but it's kind of just like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, that's not how you should be talking to a nigga like me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do shit to you. I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, why are you talking to me like this? You know what I mean? I should have really like beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? That's a nigga. I should have beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was really trying my shit. I just didn't. I thought there was something wrong with him. Like, I really thought there was something mentally wrong with him. I thought he had like a mental illness, like for real. Cause like I didn't understand 90% of stuff he said, but I know he said the N word and all this other bullshit. I'm like, bro, I should get up and smack the shit out of this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I should brawl with this nigga. You know what I mean? I should brawl with this stupid dumbass. You know what I mean? But it's like, I should brawl with him. But it's like, ain't really worth it. You know what I mean? Ain't really worth my time and shit. So, I ended up, what I learned the third time is like, these girls, they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to conversate and shit. They're not good conversationalists. Don't know how to conversate. And then the white people are racist. Because the second time, I feel as if the girls actually were more engaged, you know what I'm saying, in talking to me, right? Versus the fourth time I went. The fourth time I was there, my nigga, it was like, I tried talking to some people, but it was like, I stayed in my room most of the time because it was like, I'm not really here to really talk to none of y'all. I just want to get out. I'm trying to avoid any situations from happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had this one girl snap with me type shit. I'm like, bitch, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, I'm trying to understand your point of view of things. I'm trying to understand how you think. You know what I'm saying? I had this one girl snap on me, right? I had this one girl, she was a choke job. You know what I'm saying? All of them are choke jobs, even the workers and shit. They all are choke jobs. So let me make it plural, my nigga. But I feel as if the second time I went there, the girls were actually more, conversational. I feel as if they actually wanted me to talk to them. Like, I actually saw some cute girls the second time I went. The second time I went there, my nigga, I saw actually some cute girls, my nigga. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I saw some girls that, you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of like, I just wasn't, I wanted to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I did not want to be there. I felt as if I should not have been there. So I didn't talk to nobody there the second. I talked to a few niggas there the second time. There was a guy I was talking to. He was pretty cool and shit like that. But it's kind of like, but all in all, to sum up the Appalachian saga, it's like, you know what I mean? Everything is scripted. Everything, you know what I'm saying, is planned there. So it's like, I don't take none of that shit serious. I do what I gotta do to leave, my nigga. Simple. That's the end of the Appalachian saga. So let's get into this family saga, all right? So like I said, we all know I got bullied by my brothers for the longest. They always been bullying me and shit like that. It's not until recently where I start getting respect for them and shit, because, they see what I'm doing and shit like that. And then, you got, my guardians, right? They treat me like shit. They've been treating me like shit for the past year now. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at least prior to when I discovered I got treated a little bit better. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Looking back on it, man, it's like, man, I've always been treated bad by my guardians. Like, they're just unacceptable parents, man. They don't know how to parent. They're not equipped to be parents. I feel like what people should do is, like, they should make this a law. Like, people need to take a brain test. You need to take a test before you have children. Like, it should be illegal to have children unless you take a knowledge exam. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are not equipped to be parents. My guardians are a prime example. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, they're horrible guardians and shit like that. But speaking of my brothers and shit like that, I mean, like I said, I got bullied by them and shit. And, what we did to each other, we would always talk shit. You know what I'm saying? We would have battles. what we would call them, we would call them wars, right? We would talk shit to each other. We would literally degrade each other. That's what we did. A lot. You know what I'm saying? But we had a few positive moments. I don't want y'all to think it was just all bad. So we had a few positive moments. I had a few positive moments with each of my brothers separately. Not all together. We barely had positive moments together. But separately, I had positive moments with, I guess I can name drop them. Well, with Trayvon and Jamel separately, I had positive moments with them. Like, I used to, you know what I'm saying? I used to hoot with Trayvon and shit like that. I've been to his apartment and shit. You know what I'm saying? We had a few positive moments. And with Jamel, I had a few positive moments with him. You know what I'm saying? I've been to his apartment and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even here, we was just chatting and shit. and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? A few positive moments. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, growing up back then, man, we would just degrade each other. We would talk shit constantly. You know what I mean? And then, you know, Wendy and Abraham, oh, fuck them. I hope they die. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, you know what I'm saying? Because they torch me, man. They neglect me and shit. They don't feed me and shit. They treat me like shit. You know what I'm saying? They wake me up out my sleep and shit like that. They be talking shit, throwing shade and shit. Like, bro, fuck these niggas, man. Fuck these slaves. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man. So, that's pretty much the wrap up this documentary. I got into it. It's a little longer than expected. But I kind of wanted to dive. Like I said, I talked about my music first, then I talked about myself, right? And then all that other shit. But I want to talk a little bit more about myself before I end this documentary, right? So, I mean, about me, man. I'm a positive, nice guy. I always try to stay, you know, good and shit. I do what I need to do. I'm really nice, really good. You know, I one of the coolest people you're gonna meet. You know what I'm saying? I get along really well with people. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit. I have no problem with nobody. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, I do what I gotta do, man. You know what I mean? But so yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, I just wanna better myself, you know what I'm saying? I wanna better myself. I wanna better my personality shit. I wanna do a lot for this world once I get my money, once I get my earnings and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, I want to have my own businesses. I want to have a couple businesses. I'm going to create me a middle school and high school in Tallahassee. I'm going to build a homeless shelter in Tallahassee. You know what I'm saying? X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have a lot of shit, you know, in store. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit I'm going to do. I don't want to announce too much of what I'm going to do. But just know, you know what I'm saying? Once I get my money, I'm really going to show out. You know what I mean? I'm really a good, nice guy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think of me as this bad guy. I'm really a good, nice guy. I'm not nobody out there. Do not think of me to be no celebrity. I am Cameron Jordan Scott. I am not none of y'all. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, like, I hope y'all enjoyed this documentary. I'm saying this is about the end of this documentary. If you enjoyed it, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share it, man. You know, I really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? My phone storage is actually running kind of low, so that's why I kind of got to wrap up the documentary. But yeah, it's better than the last documentary. We can admit to that, right? But yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. And until next time, I will see y'all in my next video that I do like this, my next talking video. I don't know when that's going to be because I'm releasing nothing but bangers from here. Beach. Yeah.